Well, open it, can you?
Howdy.
What do you want?
Got through my business up at the house. Thought I'd pay you a call. You got a gun, I see.
Good. Colt 45.
What do you do with it?
Shoot things?
Oh. That's their pink picture now. Now that's Snake Woman, ain't it?
Your eyes don't lie to you.
He plumb stark naked as a jaybird, she is. No, not quite. Got a couple of thingamabobs tied on her.
Shucks, that ain't nothing. Now look at this one.
I go blind. That give me ideas, so would.
Yeah, it's a dinger, that is.
Yeah, that sure is a dinger. Say, it's a nice rope you got here. Feels nice. You know Will Parker? He sure can spin a rope. It's a strong-looking beam you got there. You could hang yourself on that, Jud.
I could what?
Why, you could hang yourself? It'd be as easy as falling off a log. Fact is, you could stand on a log, or a chair if you'd rather, right about here, and tie that there around your neck good and tight first, of course. You know what you'd have to do would be to fall off the chair, or the log, about 5 minutes or less. With good luck, you'd be dead as a doornail.
Well, what do you mean by that?
And then folks would come to your funeral singing sad songs.
Nah.
Well, they would. You never know how many people like you till you're dead. Probably lay you out in the parlor. Or dock down in your best suit, your high starch collar.
Well, would they be flowers, do you think?
You sure would. Palms and all laid around your coffin. Then, when folks are coming, you know, the men, they bare their heads, warming and sniffle softly. Some will probably faint, ones that took a shine to you while you was alive.
Well, what woman ever took a shine to me?
Lots of women. Only they don't come right out and say it. Lest you die first.
I guess that's so.
Sure would sing loud when the singing started. Sing like their hearts would break. Pore Jud is dead. Pore Jud Fry is dead. All gather around his coffin now and cry. He had a heart of gold, and he wasn't very old. Oh, why did such a feller have to die? Pore Jud is dead. Pore Jud Fry is dead. He's looking oh so peaceful and serene.
And serene.
He's all laid out to rest, with his hands across his chest. His fingernails have never looked so clean. Then the preacher get up and he'd say, "Folks, we are gathered here to moan and groan over our brother Jud Fry, who hung himself up by a rope in the smokehouse." And then there'd be weeping and wailing from some of those women. Then he'd say, "Jud was the most misunderstood man in this here territory. People used to think he was a mean and an ugly feller, and they call him a dirty skunk and an ordinary pig stealer. But the folks that really knowed him know that beneath them two dirty shirts that he always wore, there beat a heart as big as all outdoors.
As big as all outdoors.
Jud Fry loved his feller man.
He loved his feller man.
The birds of the forest and the beasts of the field. He loved the mice and the vermin in the barn, and he treated the rats like equals, which was right. Oh, he loved the little children. He loved everybody and everything. Only he never let on so nobody ever knowed it. Pore Jud is dead. Pore Jud Fry is dead. His friends will weep and wail for miles around.
Miles around.
The daisies in the dell will give off a different smell, because Pore Jud is underneath the ground.
never would. And folks are feeling sad, 'cause they used to treat him bad. And now they know their friend is gone for good. Good. Poor Jud is dead. A candle lights his head. He's looking oh so pretty and so nice. He looks like he's asleep. It's a shame that he won't keep. But it's summer and we're running out of ice. Poor Jud, poor Jud. Yes, sir. That's the way to be. Sure would be an interesting funeral. I sure as hell wouldn't like to miss it.
Wouldn't like to miss it? Well, maybe you will. Maybe you'll go first.
Maybe. Say, where'd you come from? Where'd you work at before you came up here? Quapaw, wasn't it?
Yeah. Before that, over by Tulsa. Lousy they was to me, both of them. Always treating me like dirt. Making out they was better.
What you do? Get even?
You said anything about getting even?
No one I recollect just came in my head is all.
If it ever come to getting even, I know the way to do it.
That?
Nah, there's smarter ways than that if you use your brain. You remember that fire over by the Bartlett farm? Over by Sweetwater?
I sure do. That was a terrible accident. That burned up the mother, father, and the daughter.
There weren't no accident. A feller told me the hired hand was stuck on the Bartlett girl, and he caught her in the hayloft with another feller.
It was him that burned up the place?
Took him weeks to get a bowl of kerosene. Buying it, different places, different times. Feller told me they made out like it happened in Missouri. Oh, I know it all the time. It was a Bartlett farm. What a liar he was.
A sort of murder too, wasn't it? Let's get a little air in here.
You ain't told me what business you got here. We got no cattle to sell. No cow ponies. The oat crop's done spoke for.
You know, you sure done relieved my mind considerably.
There's only one other thing you could want on this farm. And it better not be that.
Well, that's just what it is.
It better not be. You stay away from her, you hear?
You know, someone ought to tell Laurie what kind of a man you are. Or for that matter, someone ought to tell you yourself.
You better get out of here, Curly.
The fellow wouldn't feel very safe in here with you if he didn't know you. But I know you, Jud. This country, there's two things you can do if you're a man. Live outdoors is one, or live in a hole is the other. Now, I sat by my horse in the brisk summers, and I heard a rattlesnake coming many a time. Rattle, rattle, he'd go. Someone coming close to his hole. Someone gonna step on him. Get his old fangs full of poison, and he just curl up and wait. As long as you live in a hole, you're scared. You gotta have protection. But you can have muscles like iron and still be as weak as an empty bladder. Listen, you got something to barb your hide with. How'd you get to be the way you are anyway? Sitting here, thinking the way you're thinking. Why don't you do something healthy? Once in a while, stay instead. Shut up here, crawling in a fast. You ought to feel better now. Hard on the roof, though. I wish you'd let me show you something. You see that knot hole over there winking? Well, I just want to see if I can hit it. Bullet straight through that tension. Slick as a whistle, didn't I? I know what I can do it. You saw it, didn't you?
Is that a gun?
Someone's coming, I expect.
Who fired off that gun. Was that you, Curly? Well, don't just sit there, you lummy. Answer when you're spoken to.
Well, I shot once.
And what was you shooting at?
See that knothole over there?
Well, I see a lot of knotholes.
Yeah, well, it was one of them.
Well, aren't you a pair of purty nothings picking away at old knotholes and scaring everybody to death? I ought to give you a good Dutch rub and iron some of that craziness out of you. It's all right, ain't nobody hurt. Just a pair of fools swapping noises.
Mind if I visit with you, gents? It's good to get away from the ladies for a while. Now that we're alone, I got some special purdies, private knickknacks for to show you. Special for the menfolk.
I'll see you gentlemen later. I gotta get a surrey I hired for tonight.
Who do you think you're taking in that Surrey?
Art postcards.
Aunt Eller? And at all, if she'll have me.
She won't.
Yeah, well, maybe she will.
She promised she'd go with me, and she better not change her mind. She better not.
Now, I want to show you some of these straight from Paris.
I don't want none of them things. You got any frog stickers?
You mean one of those long knives? What would you want with something like that?
I don't know. Kill a hog or a skunk, maybe. You know what I like better than a frog sticker is a little wonder. You ever hear that? It's a thing you hold up to your eye to see pictures. Only that ain't all there is to it. Not quite. It's got a little jigger onto it. You touch it, and out springs a sharp blade.
On the spring, eh?
You say to a feller, look through this. And then when he's looking, you snap out the blade. It's right above his chest, and bam, out it comes.
Don't handle things like that. Too dangerous. What I want to show you is my new stock of postcards.
I don't want none. I'm gonna get me a real woman.
What would you want with a woman? Why, I'm having trouble right now on account of a woman. They always cause trouble, and you say you want one? Why, look at you. You're a man who's free to come and go as you please. You got a nice, cozy place. Peaceful, nobody to bother you. Art postcards. They don't talk back to you.
I'm tired of all these pictures of women.
All right, so you're tired of them, huh? So buy some new ones. Oh, you get tired of women, and what can you do, huh? You just keep getting tireder and tireder.
I've made up my mind.
So you want a real woman, eh? Say, have you happened to heard of a woman named Ada Annie?
I don't want her.
Well, I don't want her either, but I got her!
I don't want nothing from no peddler man. I want real things. What am I doing here? Crawling and festering. What am I doing in this lousy smokehouse? The floor creaks, the door squeaks. There's a field mouse nibbling on a broom. And I sat by myself like a cobweb on a shelf, by myself in a lonely room. But when there's a moon in my window and it slants down a beam across my bed, and the shadow of a tree starts a dancing on the wall, and a dream starts dancing in my head, and all of the things that I wish for turn out like I want them to be, and I'm better than that smart aleck cowhand who thinks he's better than up my arms, and her own soft arms keep me warm. And her long tangled hair tumbles across my face, just like the rain in a storm. The floor creaks, the door squeaks, and the mouse starts nibbling on the broom. And the sun flicks my eyes. It was all a pack of lies. I'm awake in a lonely room. I ain't gonna dream about her arms no more. I ain't